The semi-final, either Watsonians or the German national side. In the commentary box, we've got Colin Gregor, the Scotland captain, and John Beattie.
Thank you, Dougie. Well, it's the Germans playing right to left in the yellow jerseys against Watsonians. And I have to tell you that, you know, the Melrose route to the final is to beat the winners of this match. And Colin Gregor, this is a possibility for Melrose to get to the final. This will be a good game. But of some of the teams we've seen, these maybe aren't the strongest.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think that was a fantastic effort from Melrose to turn over Wasps, and Watsonians have obviously gone well in their couple of games so far. A really emphatic victory over Hawick in the last round, and Germany are a useful outfit. That they got through their first game, and I'm sure they'll be stronger in this game and look to put away Watsonians. Although I expect this to be another great quarter final. Yeah,
it was Buckman that took it on. This is Szczesny. Szczesny now looking inside for the other big man around, Alan Kesson. Kesson up over the 22. Szczesny wants the ball back. Mr. Changlang says to keep your places, lots of width. Fallen Kemper straight through that gap. He's laying off to another man from his left. It's Heimpel. And Germany, well, I thought they were looking as though they were running out of steam in the first game they played, but that's a commanding try.
Yeah, I think sometimes the first game's the hardest of the day, that you get your second wind and things, and they've started this game really emphatically, just a minute and a half basically of keeping a hold of ball, working Watsonians across the pitch, and when the opportunity presented itself, it was a good break from Vollenkemper, and it was Heimpel on his shoulder to touch down under the posts.
You're the expert, and if you watch teams, you'll maybe tut because they're making mistakes. What are modern sevens tactics?
The possession of the ball is the big focus that you put a huge emphasis on. Times like the restart, making sure that when a team kicks to you, you're in a position that you can regain ball. And it's just simple. It's playing to space. Use the strengths of your team, but generally you want to move the ball away from the opposition into space and exploit any opportunities you have to pick off the overlaps.
And Heimpel sent that one high, and poor Rory Steele just, I think, got himself caught up in the sunshine, and it's going to be a throw-in to Germany. And there's a quick look at the teams. That number 10, if you've just joined us, that is the son of Gavin Hastings, Adam Hastings. Szczesny, Heimpel and Kesson, all pretty good players. You're saying not many of these lads are actually on the European circuit that you see, these German players?
There are a couple that look familiar, but there's a couple, or quite a few of them, that are obviously just up and coming in the German setup. The number 4 there, Pierre Maturin, he's played a little bit, as has Big Buckman, who's just a big effective forward. That he's obviously touching down there. That he big rangy forward that likes to take the ball up, gain momentum for the Germans.
Yeah, they certainly seem to be in the right gear in this match. It was von Grumbo who made the ground, and Buckman here is, as you say, big, strong player.
Yeah, and again, good recognition of getting the ball to space early there. Another fend off, just that half-missed tackle, and through on the sweeper. It's good support from Buckman just to create the 2-on-1, and it's a relatively straightforward try for the Germans.
Rugby in Germany is not huge, played in a couple of cities. I think there are 6 teams in Heidelberg. But in general, it's not the main sport. But I think a lot of them, don't they? They see sevens. They think it's in the Olympic program now. They'll build for the Olympics. There's always Olympic funding from governments to take part in a sevens tournament. And the Germans, you know, they've probably got the raw material for it.
I think so, yeah. They've played on the sort of the European circuit, and they go to a lot of the invitational teams, invitational tournaments as a team. So the big advantage of playing sevens is just playing together and knowing how each other operates, and they're showing that with the way that they're moving Watsonians around the pitch just now.
They're just running them around, aren't they? This is von Krumko, and the Germans still on the ball. Alan Kesson long pass. Szczesny to Buckman. And Buckman tries to keep that ball alive. Good tackling by the Watsonians. They're having to scramble in defence. Beautiful sunny day here at Melrose. Cold sunny day. Whoa! That could be on your list of tries of the afternoon. Rhys Cullen, who we've seen as the playmaker already for Watsonians, just got on the ball of an interception there.
great read from him. It was obviously a big wind up to the pass, and he saw it. I think that it probably floated a little bit in the wind and read it really well, plucked it out of the air. And just thinking before that, it was important for Watsonians not to panic. That the first 4.5 minutes of this game, it's all been Germany in possession, so they did well to keep Germany out there, and not only do that but actually turn them over and score an easy try and get themselves back into this game.
It is about momentum, isn't it? And this could have been German momentum, but this changes the whole sense of the match.
It's a big psychological lift for Watsonians as well, that they've been up against it and just hadn't been able to get a hold of ball, so they're now back in the game, got a chance to get into the German half, really challenge at this kick-off. And it looks like they've got a turnover here, so they've got another chance to regain possession and impose their game on Germany.
It'll be a scrum to Watsonians. Cracking day's rugby today. Perfect conditions, the pitch. Great credit to all the ground staff here at the Green Yards. Always one of the great pitches, but there's in beautiful nick today. Short grass. Players love playing in these conditions, don't they? There was a little bit of hail 4 hours ago, but since then it's been windy, but not too hot, and perfect for running.
You're absolutely right. It is basically just perfect, nice, dry conditions, firm pitch, great opportunity to move the ball around and open up the legs, and we're seeing some great rugby as a result of it. A lot of teams just moving the ball around and showing some real attacking prowess.
This is the man who's really impressed me today, Cullen. Cullen has done so much that's been good. Hastings, that's a big name. Out to Tom Hart, the captain. Just thinks of going inside, takes the ball on, and Germans might be panicking. Good turnover there, the Germans though in possession, and they've got 3 against 3 here. Through the hands, Buckman faced by Hastings. Hastings pointing, ball goes where it went. Scrambling defence by Rory Steele, just the man in possession, makes more ground. Buckman, halfway line.
Tackle away.
Watsonians struggling to get back on side. Szczesny. Von Grumko. Heimpel. Via Vollenkemper to Buckman. Side to side rugby. Watsonians having to defend, but bravely doing so. 5-point margin. And this is going to be half-time. This is a great game. This is a game that you would have thought Germany might have a big advantage in, but they are certainly being pushed all the way by the Watsonians.
Yeah, and I think the half-time whistle blew at the right time for both sides there. That was an exhausting passage of play. Germany enjoy getting width to their game, that they're just moving Watsonians across the pitch, side to side. But in fairness to Watsonians, they're defending that really well. They're keeping men on their feet, numbers in front of the ball, and they're executing the basic tackles. So the problem is that Germany, their basic skills are very good around the breakdown. They get their men there quickly, they secure ball, they move it away, and their actual catching, passing and skills just continually at a high standard. So it's difficult for Watsonians to get a hold of ball.
Look at that picture, isn't that just something that sums up today? That's the iconic image of Melrose, those 2 hills, the Eildon Hills. The players in the olden days would have pre-season training races up there, and that is something special. And there's Marcus De Rollo. 2 big names in charge of this team: Marcus De Rollo, Conan Sharman the sprinter, De Rollo international centre. That's him just walking across your shot, and that's lots of knowledge there. What you want is people that you trust who've been at the top level. Yeah,
so a shot of Andrew Kerr in the Watsonians management setup there as well, that there's a lot of great sevens experience, and in fairness to Watsonians, they do put an emphasis on the 7-a-side game. They've had a lot of success over the years on the border circuit, and they'll be looking to spring a wee surprise and get into the semi-finals to face Melrose this year.
If you've just joined us, we've already had one of the great upsets. I think one of the great upsets in the last 5 or 10 years, when Melrose beat Wasps in the previous game. So Melrose are in the first semi-final. They play the winners of this match. Coming up, Edinburgh Accies looking good against Jedburgh. I keep being told to say Jed Forest. Of course it's Jed Forest. and then it's Gala against the Warriors. So it could be, you know, you're looking at possibly a Melrose Warriors final, which would be quite something, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. What do you make of the way these teams are playing?
They're playing well. I've been really impressed with this guy, Rhys Cullen. He just looks so comfortable with ball in hand. Great sidestep on him that he obviously read the intercept well. So it's good for Watsonians to regain that kick-off now. Important to just keep a bit of possession and maybe start to go forwards rather than backwards at some point. Just make Germany defend for a couple of phases, see how they are going through the multi-phase defence and stretch them, getting ball to space again. Likes of Cullen into a bit of space. It's great to see.
He's got an amazing step, hasn't he? But he was isolated, so it's been turned over now. You've got Vollenkemper out to the big men out wide. Looks like it's Heimpel. It is, it's Heimpel, and they exert something that's clinical. When they have a sniff, they're in.
Yeah, that was really ruthless from the Germans there. That it was unfortunate for Watsonians, as you said, that there was just a little bit isolated, and then from that quick tap penalty, turnover ball, so good to attack off before the defence is set, and two simple passes, and it's a run in the corner for Fabian Hempel.
You were saying earlier that you think that sometimes the defences here don't push up as much as they would in the World Series that you're involved in, but the Germans there pushed right up on the Watsonians and kept moving them back, even though the Watsonians were in possession.
Yeah, it's about applying pressure and putting the basic skills under the microscope, and on that occasion that Watsonians went for the half gap, got turned over, and Germany, it was a relatively easy score in the end by forcing a turnover deep in the Watsonians half.
Andrew Kerr it was, shading his eyes. Good take by Sortira Mertz.
Wait there, please. Holding on. Same offence.
Steele. Oh, good line this time by big Ali Miller. Ali Miller looked good in the earlier rounds, tries that handoff. Just offloaded it and couldn't keep the ball in possession, the Watsonians, but a great break by Miller.
Line out or scrum. Line out or scrum.
The timing of the scissors there deep in the Watsonians half here, it was just great. Let the ball carrier Steele come across, committed two defenders, and really excellent line running back out behind the ball carrier so that he's into space. And fairness to Germany, that the sweeper completed the tackle well and the offload just didn't quite go to hand, but a good attacking position for Watsonians deep in the German half.
Germans on the ball, Maturin. And they've been taken over their own line. It'll be a scrum to Watsonians, 5 metres out. 10-point margin. You wouldn't expect Watsonians to win this, but you never know.
Wait, please.
Yeah, I think this is an important scrum for them here. It's a great position. They've got the entire width of the pitch to attack with, so unfortunately they've been turned in the scrum.
And again, please. Same scrum.
Generous of the referee to reset it there, I think. So if they can just get the ball in and away, if Cullen can get it into the hands of Steele or even Hastings straight behind the scrum, and they can move it to Steele and look to attack.
Hastings out wide to Steele. Steele with a little kick through. It doesn't quite work for him. It's Maturin on the ball. Germany with a long way to go, but they could take a risk here. Szczesny.
Move tackler, release.
And support from Von Krumko, tries to do the extra roll. Penalty, not releasing Watsonians then. Here they go. It's taken by Tom Hart. Hart the captain.
No knock on.
Oh, lovely little step. And that is Watsonians back in the reckoning with a try from Ewan Miller. He's been in try-scoring form today at the Green Yards.
That all came from the turnover. Germany normally so good around the breakdown there, just a little bit slow to get their support to the ball carrier. Fantastic turnover, and Watsonians are right back in this game now. Yep, just see the end of it here. That it's another great step from Miller there. A little bit of a handoff as well, and the good thing for Watsonians is almost under the post as well, so the kick's good, and now all they need is a one try, and they're into the lead.
Okay, a couple of minutes left. Germany. Sam Ranger it was with that lovely break, and this could be a try. No, Rhys Cullen back there with the tackle. Another tackle coming in on Maturin, and it's in touch.
No, in touch.
Excellent sweeping there from Rhys Cullen. He didn't commit to the ball carrier, and then he managed to bounce off to Maturin down the side and completed a textbook tackle. The offload went to hand, but unfortunately the Germans ran out of space, and they were Watsonians got to attack from deep, but at least they've got ball now.
Miller it was, Hastings with a long pass. Lovely cut on that far side. Oh, and he's through. And he's been in fine form, hasn't he, Ewan Miller? He's scored some couple, I think that was his third try today.
Okay.
Miller.
Move, tackler.
Cullen. Cullen caught, has to release.
Leon, that's fine.
The Germans look as though they've turned this over, but there's an injured German player.
Too many hands.
Yeah, it was a good defensive set from Germany. It was Szczesny on the outside there that just got into the eye line of Rhys Cullen, and he just was reluctant to throw that ball, put his teammate under pressure, and from the resulting breakdown, Germany managed to turn Watsonians over, and into the last minute, a scrum in the Watsonians half. It's going to be difficult for them to get up the far end and score now.
It is. Remember, lots of great games to come here. Warriors on fire. Glasgow Warriors. Nico Matawalu showing some of his stuff. They'll be coming up very soon. And this is the second quarter-final between Watsonians and Germany. Edinburgh Accies against Jed Forest to come next. Then it's Gala against Warriors, and then Melrose against the winners of this match, the first semi-final. And the final will be at 6:20. We're with you right till the end, till 7 o'clock. We'll bring you the presentation. Even Batman will have his say, and this looks like an injury to a knee, and we wish him well. Two bad injuries for the Germans today. One looked like a head injury, and that's not a very clever knee injury.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate to see that, and it's a real shame for them that they've come over to such a great experience, and it's ending in such a way for a couple of their players.
Szczesny outside break, gives it to, and this is Szczesny in for the try, isn't it? It was Heimpel with the break and Szczesny with the try, and the Germans just too strong.
Yeah, just really simple execution off the scrum there, but just made the Watsonians winger bite in a little bit, that they just ran at his inside shoulder, and it was difficult for Robbie Greenhall to then bounce back out to get to Szczesny, and it's a relatively straightforward try for Germany to tie up this game.
Heimpel with the conversion. It's time up. It's a good looking kick from where we are, but it's gone to the left of the post. The Germans then through to the next match, and they'll play, well, it's a big, they'll play Melrose in the first semi-final. So we know the first semi-final then is Melrose, who've beaten the Wasps against Germany. Let's get to Dougie Vipon, shall we?
Yes, good win for Germany there. 22 points to 14 over Watsonians. Disappointing for the Edinburgh side, but one fellow who picked the cup up back in 1996 for Watsonians has been involved in our commentary this afternoon, Scott Hastings, and let's just talk about that match in particular. Disappointing for Watsonians, but Germany just too strong in the end.
Yeah, they were. They had a good set of forwards, but as you heard from Colin Gregor, what they did, Germany, was they played a wider game, and that stretched the Watsonians' defence. But when it came into the physical contact, certainly Germany were a lot stronger. I think that experience ultimately told at the end of the day, despite the performance of Ewan and Ali Moore. I thought they played really well. And that guy, Rhys Cullen, I think was a standout player, the blonde-haired scrum half for Watsonians.
He was good, wasn't he? But they'll play Melrose in the first semi-final. That's going to be a great game, isn't it?